All right, so here we go. It is Wednesday night, August the 2nd, 2017. So here we are on a live YouTube hangout talking about natural healing. And our specific brand of natural healing is detoxification of the lymphatic system of the body. And so the lymph system is your sewer system. So we teach you how to clean up the sewer. And when you have a dirty sewer system, all kinds of things happen. You get a lot of critters that like to make a home in there, viruses, parasites, bad bacteria, all kinds of things like that. And also the lymph system turns acidic and it starts coming back at you and chewing on you. So this causes just a myriad of things that the medical community would like to put names to, and gets very confusing. But our teaching is very simple. Just learn how to clean that lymph system, and that's really it. Take in foods that are alkalizing to the body, which actually thin out that lymph system, unclog it, and those are the fruits. The fruits are powerful at lymphatic detoxification. Also, get the kidneys open, get them filtering so they remove the waste out of the lymphatic system. So that's really it. We use herbs to help us, and there's physical things we can do too, but that is really this healing in a nutshell. And it's really, really powerful, really, really simple, easy to learn, and it actually works. So that's the good news. So yeah, so anyways, it's real hot here in Ventura, kind of muggy and sticky and all that, but you know, we'll get through the night here, and these usually go about an hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe longer, depending on how many questions come in. But you guys let me know how everything is sounding and looking. You know, sometimes we have some technical problems, either on my end or YouTube's end. So let me know how the sound level is for sure. Okay, so I'm going to jump right into where you guys are so we can get started answering your questions and getting our dialogue going here. So welcome everybody. It's great to have you, and it's great to it's an honor to be answering your questions the best I can, and I will certainly try. So we got Jeannie is in the house. Hi Jeannie, welcome back. Hi Mark, hi everyone. Good to have you, Jeannie. We have Amethyst Schmoller back. Hi, Mark. I'm asking a question for my 19-year-old brother. Fine. We are trying to prevent a shoulder injury. He has a torn labrum, a Hill Sachs deformity, and bone loss. It feels loose and unstable. Any advice? Yeah, you know, so, you know, the joints and the bones, the connective tissue of the body all needs calcium. Okay, it needs calcium to the whole body needs calcium to maintain its structure. Okay, all the organs, glands, bones, joints, teeth, hair, everything utilizes calcium to help it solidify and form its structure. If you're not utilizing the calcium properly, it's a problem. And also, if you're acidic, you know, like I just talked about in the opening, if the lymphatic system is acidic, it needs to rebalance itself. So does the blood. The blood has a very narrow range it has to be in as well. So if the body is acidic, either by taking in too much acid-forming foods, or by having a clogged, sticky, gummed-up, dirty lymph system, sewer system that becomes acidic, then you have problems. So basically, we want to restore the proper alkalinity to the body. And we want to go after that parathyroid gland because that gland utilizes calcium, okay? So you can't just take calcium supplements. Those can actually cause a lot of damage. You can start stoning up in the body. The extra calcium can get deposited in those very joints you're trying to help out. So I don't like, you know, Dr. Morse has taught me to steer far away from isolated chemistry. In other words, where they pull the calcium out of something and then you take it as a supplement. That's not the way we go. We believe in the power of the body. We believe in the healing forces that are all around us, in the body, outside of the body, everywhere. So that's why we teach to clean up the glands. You know, look, the sewer system's everywhere. It's in every cell. It's around every cell. And every gland has the interstitial fluids. In other words, all glands are cells. The cells are surrounded by what we call interstitial fluid, which is mostly lymphatic fluid. Okay, so we want to get that parathyroid restored. We want to alkalize the body. We want to get alkaline chemistry deep into the body. You're not going to do that by taking in alkaline waters and things like that. You're going to do it by alkalizing the lymphatic system through a high fruit diet, high raw diet, fruits and vegetables, and some herbs to assist you to get the kidneys filtering, get the glands up, perk up those glands. So that's basically it. So I would think about it, he's got some weakness here. Yeah, to prevent injuries, to heal, all these things, it's about really getting the structure of the body back. Okay, I hope that helps. It would be great to see pictures of his eyes and see what's also going on in the body. Sometimes we get a sticky pituitary gland up in the head. In other words, that's all full of mucus up there where that pituitary is, and that's the master gland that talks to all the other glands. So it's important to know if that's functioning as well. Okay, and then of course the adrenal glands, they handle about 24 or 25 minerals that they utilize. So really important. So it's all, it all works together. The good thing about detoxification is it's a systemic event. In other words, when you start a real detoxification regime, you're going to alkalize the entire body. So there's forces in the body that we don't fully understand, but what we do know is if we get out of the way, in other words, if we clean out the obstructions that we put in that body through our lack of knowledge, through our naivete, through our, I hate to use the word ignorance, but it's just not taught to us. So if we can start that alkalizing process, a lot of things happen in the body that we don't even know about yet. So it's about trusting in the power of the body, trusting in the power of nature, and trusting in the fact that that we are willing to step out of the way and relinquish our supposedly, I guess, egoic power over things through chemistry and science and all that. Not that I'm against all that, but it seems to work better when we kind of just step out of the way by clearing out our obstructions that we put in from, if you're anything like me, from endless years of eating Fruit Loops and Funyuns and just all kinds of garbage, and just not understanding this. So I hope that helps, okay? Just one little added note. I've been a skier for many, many decades, and my knees are still together. They still feel fine, and they were hurting though before I discovered this. So I removed the acids out of my knees, and they repaired themselves. So I don't know. I did have a couple knee injuries, and possibly from having acidic knees. When there's acidosis in the joints and in the ligaments and tendons and muscles, acidosis actually dries things out. So all those tissues become more brittle. So your skin can rip easier. Your bones can break easier. Your tendons can, they're not as supple. They don't stretch as much. They'll actually break and rip and tear. So it really pays to alkalize the body in so many ways. Every way you can imagine. So anyways, great opening question. Sorry for the big rant. That will set you guys up for a lot of what I'm talking about. I'll probably repeat a lot of what I just said. So Amethyst Schmoller, thank you in advance. You bet, Amethyst. Thank you for the great question. We got Sheila Highmark. Looking forward to tonight's chat. Yeah, so am I. This is great. So good to have you all here. And the chat room is filling up rapidly. So this is wonderful. The video and audio is breaking up for me. Anyone else having this happen at 6 minutes 36? Oh, yeah, let us know. Let us know if anybody's having any trouble with video and audio. Okay, so the boss says, "Hey, Mark, audio is clear. Does probiotics change eye color? And is the intestinal the GI tract?" Okay, probiotics change eye color. I don't know of anything that changes eye color other than moving lymph, because on top of the iris of the eye, that's the part where the color of the eye is. The center is the pupil, of course. On top of the iris of the eye lays a lymphatic layer, and that's what we're trained by Dr. Morse to look at. That's really the layer that we're looking at. And so when we start to move lymph in the body, we start to change the eye color. And the lymph gets darker and darker the longer and more stagnant it is. It becomes more chronic. So, yeah, so that's the only thing I know that changes eye color. And then we have the question, is the intestinal or the GI tract? The GI tract does include the intestines. It starts actually with the mouth and the tongue and the throat, and then down into the stomach, and then down into the small intestine and large intestine, and out of the rectum. So that's the whole entire GI tract there. And of course, you have the organs and glands that stem off of that, like the pancreas and the liver and things like that, which can be sort of tied to it. But that's really it. So the intestines are part of the GI tract. Another name for the intestines is the bowel. So the large bowel and small bowel. And then the large bowel is also called the colon. So there you go. We got C Tahoe 1 is back. All right. Yes, Jeannie, I had a little trouble too with it breaking up. I think we are good now. Okay, good. So we stabilized with the video. Excellent. Good to hear. We're off and running. It looks good so far. Okay. Let's see. Sheila, should you take a day of rest from herbs on a weekly basis? So many thoughts out there. Yeah, I like to do 6 on, 1 off. I think that's a good thing. Let the body have a rest. Sunday's a day of rest, If I'm going to do fasting, I fast on Sundays. If I'm going to really limit my food and water and all that stuff, a fluid intake, I'll do Sunday as that. And Sunday's a great day to take off with the herbs, let the body rest. And that is certainly Dr. Christopher's thoughts. Dr. Christopher was a great herbalist that taught Dr. Morse a lot. So not sure about how Dr. Morse feels about like that, but I think he mentioned that as well. So yeah, take 1 day off, do 6 on, 1 off. That's not a bad idea. So Jeannie, good, C Tahoe 1. Mine is better now. Thanks. Okay, good. So we got Pat Worley back. Hi, Pat. After lymph fluid is filtered, where does it go? Well, okay, so the kidneys are the main filter of the lymphatic system, and then the fluid is actually returned to the body, and then the wastes are filtered out and hopefully sent out through the kidneys. Now, a lot of our kidneys are not filtering properly, so some of that waste is sent to the skin. Some, I understand, is sent to the GI tract to be eliminated. So, but most of the fluids, as I understand it, are restored back into the lymph system, which is a closed system for the most part. I got Stephanie in the house. Hi, Stephanie. Good to see you here. Awesome. Let's see. Pat, either sweat it out, urinate, or poop it out, or through the nose. Okay, hold on 1 second. Through the nose or cough it out. Yeah, there's many channels of elimination, of course. Yeah, so as far as lymphatic waste, yeah, the urine through the kidneys, the sweat, and the poop to some degree. You could argue that, yeah, the lungs and the breath, yeah, mucus coming out, sure. Areas of elimination. Anything that's being expelled from the body is an area of elimination. But yeah, really focus on the kidneys and kidneys and skin are super important. In other words, if you're having trouble, if you're really acidic and your kidneys aren't filtering properly, really sweat a lot. Get to saunas and get sweating. That will really help. Okay. T. Nicole, peace and bliss, Mark, and everyone joining tonight. Peace and bliss to you, T. Thank you. Appreciate that. We've got Sol Merkaba Akoma. I like that. Sol Merkaba Akoma. Sounds very cryptic. I love it. My pituitary gland point on my big toe is sore, and how can I balance the hypothyroid for weight loss? Okay, so I'm not into the reflexology myself. I probably should learn more about that. I just don't know much about it. So, but the way that I look for pituitary is I look at the eyes, and it's up depending on the eye. It's just a little to the left or right of center, depending on which eye you're looking at. But okay, so if you want to go after the pituitary, you've got to. There are pituitary herbs. There's a pituitary herbal formula by Dr. Morse. There's also pituitary glandular. You could hit it with that. There's also, you have to get the head moving. You got to get lymph out of the head. Now, what happens is the GI tract becomes toxic, acidic, lymphatically backed up, right? Even physically backed up with a bunch of solid matter. So you've got to get that GI tract cleaned up. And the thing is that the transverse colon comes across here, and it's right below the head in the eyes. Okay, between like, let's say 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock. No, it'd be, I'm sorry, between 10 and 2 o'clock. So you've got this transverse colon. So you've got to clean the colon for the head to drain. You've got to get that head draining. Upper circulation herbs help. So you want to move lymph in that head area to get that pituitary cleaned up. And then a hypothyroid is, there are thyroid herbs, but this is all general detox too, to move pus and mucus out of everywhere, including these glands. And you can perk up these glands with some specific herbs. There is a thyroid thymus tonic. There is thyroid glandulars. The endocrine balance formulas are good to hit that with as well. So that's it. Okay. But you gotta, you never just say, okay, well, I think my thyroid is down, so give me some thyroid herbs and all's good. No, it doesn't work like that. You've got to actually do a full detox. You got to get on the high fruit. You got to get on at least kidney herbs, lymphatic herbs, some herbs for the adrenals and other glands, and clean up that GI tract. At the same time, you're hitting that specific gland. That's my view on it. Okay, and you got to get off the acid-forming foods. You got to get on that fruits, berries, and melons primarily, with some salad maybe, and hit it hard. Okay. So we never just go after one. We never target one thing without doing the general detoxification. We got Dean Hendricks. I think this might be Dean's first time. Welcome if it is, Dean. How long should one fast at a time? I don't do the water fast myself. I like the dry fast. Dr. Morse does not like more than 36 hours. Neither do I. At this point, I guess unless you're really experienced or under supervision. But I like the short-term ones. Longest I've ever done is 36. 24s feel pretty comfortable to me. And then, during the week I'll throw in some 16s and some 17-hour ones. Those really help out. Those short-term dry fasts, doing quite a few of them really helps those kidneys. But if you can get up to a 24, 36 hour, that's fantastic. Okay, but these 8, 9, 10-day ones, Gabriella's Cast did 15 days dry. Wow, that takes a lot of experience, I believe, and a lot of fortitude and maybe some supervision. I don't know if Gabriella's did, but that's really kind of a big feat. So not really feeling I'm ready to do those. Those seem to be pretty harsh. Okay. All right. So Doris Rotten. I will say that, in speaking with Gabriella's, who's an amazing guy and doing some fantastic healing, he's the guy that was in a skydiving competition and his parachute did not fully open. And he was able to steer it into a pond and hit that at over 90 miles an hour and was paralyzed. And now he's almost back. He's walking. He carried his suitcase to his room when I saw him last September at Dr. Morse's in Florida. He's doing great. He told me very, very earnestly, he said, Mark, the true healing is coming in the dry fast. The true neurological rebuilding is coming in when I dry fast. That was what he was saying to me. Okay. So it's worth looking more into. It's worth practicing on and trying to get more and more dry fasting incorporated into your life. But be careful as you start going into those longer, multiple day things. I would say proceed with caution. But Gino at the Master Fast System they've got a great group over there that's very supportive of these kinds of things. So I would actually defer to them. We got Doris Rotten is back. Hi, Doris. I'm 68, and I had a bad case of shingles when I was 9, and then again 7 years ago. Wow, that was a long dormant period. That's incredible. Now about 50 years. I've had pain that doctors can't find the cause. What should I use to get this virus out of the body? Just got the GI broom. Okay, well, the GI broom is fantastic. That's a great bowel cleaner. No doubt about it. But, okay, so shingles are a virus. It's like a herpes virus. These are very, very tricky. They're great at hiding. The thing with anything, any kind of critter, any kind of virus, parasite, bad bacteria, whatever, you've got to move the lymph system, okay? Lymph. You know, and it may take you a while because these are great hiders. You got to get into the deep pockets of the lymphatic system. There are certain areas that are harder to move than others. And, you know, in the denser tissues like the bones, it's very, very hard to move lymph down the bone level. And I do understand that the herpes virus is really notorious for hiding in the lower spine area. So if you truly want to get it out of the body, you got to dig really deep and really take this seriously and learn about detoxification, learn how to move lymph in a very deep way. Okay, and that's done through really high fruit and knowing about the herbs or talking to a counselor to get you on a really aggressive herbal program. And you know, and dig deep. It's the only way. You know, you can't really look. The body has major defenses that are super intelligent. The intelligence of these lymphocytes is just phenomenal. So they can identify things and target them for removal. There's actually videos showing the process, which is really amazing. They're almost like their own little robot entities with a high intelligence, and they go and tag these bad cells. But the thing is, they've got to be able to get to where they need to go. This is the problem. So they got to be able to get into those deep, you know, thick toxic cesspools that you created in your body. So that's why this lymphatic detoxification is so important to learn, and just, you know, it's so simple to get a grip on. And you know, so just, yeah, it's all about digging deep into it, and that's the only way I know of. Okay, so yeah, you only have one herb. You only have the herb for the GI tract. You got to get the kidney formulas and lymph formulas and the gland formulas, especially to bring up those adrenal glands. The adrenal glands sit on top of the kidneys. They control the kidneys. You can't get filtration unless those adrenals are helping. And then you've got the adrenals making steroids that actually alkalize the lymphatic system. They're antacids. So very important to understand basic detoxification and hit it hard. Okay. Now, a lot of people, when they really get to a high alkalized state, they don't really get any symptoms anymore of these virals, these herpes virals and these kinds of things. They basically like an acidic environment, and if you're highly alkalized lymphatically, they basically don't really show up too much. So hard to know if they're fully out of the body. They're in a dormant state when you get highly alkaline, though. But I'd like to just keep digging and get them out. You know, maybe till your tests come back and they say, nope, you don't have it anymore. Or you're symptom free and the tests are good. Linda, hi Mark, what do you think about hot yoga? I love hot yoga, man, greatest thing. I used to do the Bikram a lot. Love it. It's just gets you sweating like crazy. It is, you know, the guy that designed it, this Bikram guy, he was a master. I guess he won a lot of awards in India as a yoga guy, and he actually learned from I forget his name, but he was I think he was Paramahansa Yogananda's brother. And anyways, he knows a lot about it, and there's a lot of twisting and turning which actually stimulates the glands that they put in there, and so they know a lot about the body. Whoever designed the Bikram yoga, it's really truly amazing, and you'll be squishing, you'll be twisting and squishing glands and all that. So I love it. Is it good to do during a 3-day grape juice fast to help detox? Yeah, you know, if you can handle it. You know, everybody's different. I mean, you know, I feel energetic on grape juice, and I was very physically active on all my grape juice fasts. I did 44 days. You may have seen the videos where I was surfing and skiing and just running my life, and sometimes even having more energy than before. So I think that, yeah, just see how you feel. But yeah, I don't see why not. Why not? Yeah, you're just going to eliminate a lot of stuff. You're going to really get the lymph moving. So. You know, one precaution is if you don't have kidney filtration, you don't want to overstimulate the lymphatic system, because then it goes ahead and hits the kidneys with all these acids, and the kidneys even block up even more. That'd be the only thing. If you start getting kidney pain, and check your urine. You know, if your urine starts going really super clear, you got problems. You need to back off. Even and test your pH of your urine. If your urine starts to go really alkaline over 7, that means you're not moving the acids out through the kidneys. So a couple things you can test to make sure you're okay in that regard. We got Matt Norton. Hi, Mark. I have a question for my girlfriend that was diagnosed with lupus a year ago. She had shingles on her face and is now losing vision in one eye due to it. Any recommendation on herbs to reverse? Okay, so so the lupus, I categorize this. Dr. Morse categorizes lupus, Lyme disease, fibromyalgia, and rheumatoid arthritis, all in the same boat. Systemic acidosis, acids that have your lymph system or her lymph system has become acidic all through her, and this requires detoxification of the lymph system, a general, heavy-duty detoxification. And then the shingles we talked about. Okay, so you got to move lymph. So it's trapped up in the head and all that. So you want to, basically we want to move lymph. So these bad guys just get out of there. Okay, whether lupus is a virus, a fungus. I mean, there's different theories on this. The shingles is a virus. So it doesn't really matter what it is. I think the saying is, why try to go after each individual alligator when you can just drain the swamp? And that's what we want to do, and this is before Trump coined it, draining the swamp. We clean the swamp. The things that shouldn't be in there just naturally have no place to go but out. They're kicked out. And we can only do that by cleaning our internal swamp, our sewer system. So that's, alkalizing head to toe. High fruit diet, high alkaline diet, herbs to assist, and physical things to assist. And that's the thing to do. The herbal recommendations are, all those general herbs. The Fab 4 kit. I call it the Fab 6 really because with the Fab 4 you got kidneys, you got the adrenal and endocrine glands, you got the lymph, and you got the GI tract plus liver gallbladder for at least the first month, and the anti-parasites for at least the first month. So I would do the 6. Okay, and then you could get into upper circulation and skin to kind of get things moving up in the head and in the skin, and and do all the things like the sweating and the dry skin brushing and all these things to just get that lymph moving. Okay, and physically too, Dr. Morse does have an eye formula that you can actually drink internally, and you could, it is meant for external use too, in an eye cup to help move lymph in the eyes, the stagnation in the eyes. I would check with her eye doctor on that one. I don't know exactly what's going on, of course, but these are just things on the top of my head. I'm just kind of speaking about. I don't have all the information on it, but you got to move lymph. That's the basis of it. It's systemic acidosis, and it's basically going after some weak spots. Okay, so I hope that helps. Okay, and if you guys have questions, go ahead and email me. I can help you further. I'm here. I answer everybody's email first thing in the morning, so that's just a service that I do for everybody. Okay, you don't have to wait a week to get a hold of me again if it's really urgent. Okay, mark@markjamesgordon.com. We got abstract swirls. What might be the cause of a sharp pain in the spleen area? My mom has pain in the upper left of her abdomen. A lot of time, look, it's something. There's a blockage somewhere. I'd have to see the specifics of it. Has she ever had any spleen issues? What makes you think it's a spleen? Just in that area, I don't know. A lot of times these are GI tract issues. It's just, you'd have to show me the specific area, but it's obstructions basically. Let's say it is the spleen. If the spleen becomes inflamed, it can become very tender and painful, right? What causes pains? It's acids. What causes inflammation is acids. So inflammation equals acidosis equals pain. You experience a lot less pain in the body the more alkaline you are, by the way. So Yeah, so it's all about moving acids out of that lymphatic system. Now, specific areas, what you can do is castor oil packs. They're great. You can take a heating pad and put it on top of a castor oil pack to actually drive the lipids down into the area to help soothe that area there. That can help there. But yeah, I'd have to see the exact area and see a history on that. But these are things you can do, just to kind of remove the inflammation. I would get off all proteins too. Anytime you have pain, you want to get off all proteins and any acid-forming foods as well. You want the alkaline foods to help with that. So in other words, acids equals pain, and then you can kind of go into the specific area to get drill down a little further. But yeah, I would put the castor oil on top of that and drive it through. That might help with that. Okay, but might want to have that one checked out. Okay. When do you know fruit alone isn't helping me detox? When do you know fruit alone isn't helping me detox? Well, okay, so I have rosacea and other minor issues. Fruit is a fantastic detoxifier, but you can check kidney filtration. I mean, if you're just doing fruit and your urine is crystal clear, even though it's a little yellow, if it's crystal clear, in other words, there's no speckles in it, there's no sediments in it, then you need more help. You got to get those kidneys filtering, with some of the kidney herbs and lymph herbs and things like this. So, there. And if your symptoms aren't going away, like the rosacea, which is a skin issue. Skin is the third kidney. You get the kidneys opened up. It takes pressure off the skin, and then the skin starts to clear up, not just on the top, but in the deeper layers. You start to alkalize that skin area. So kidney filtration is really, really a great test to see how well you're detoxing, and watching these problems go away is another one. If you're not finding relief, you got to dig deeper. So that's sort of like the basic answer there. I hope that helps you. And there's different levels of fruit too. I mean, we can call bananas a fruit, dates a fruit. We can call tomatoes a fruit. We can call cucumbers a fruit. But these are not high detoxification fruits. So there are levels to fruit. I mean, citrus, is really super aggressive. So anyways, there's different levels to the power of the fruits. So Sol Merkaba Akoma, thanks, you bet. Thank you. We got Melissa Alvarez. I think you're new, Melissa. Hi, Melissa. How often should you fast? When you're detoxing, you can do these short-term dry fasts every single night. In other words, you can stop consuming any fluids at all, any food at all, not even brushing your teeth or anything at, let's say, 5 o'clock at night. Go to bed hungry, big deal. Wake up in the morning, and don't start anything until 8. So what does that give us? That gives us 15. That's a 15-hour dry fast. So you can do these things every single night, and then once a week you can do a 24, and you're really, really bringing in some good stuff, especially for those kidneys. And there is an article out of USC saying that the dry fasting turns stem cells into immune cells. Stem cells are just unprogrammed cells ready to get their instructions. So the body tells them, hey, we want you to become an immune cell, come to work. So I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of nightly short term. And you get more power out of the herbs too when you do a little dry fasting, which is great too. They're expensive, so you want to get the most bang for your buck. So when you're detoxing, incorporating a little bit of dry fasting is really a great idea in my view. We got Pat Worley. Thanks, Mark. This is good to know. The gunk is eliminated, and the good clean lymph is recycled and used again by the body. Yeah. Yep. It's a closed system. Like the blood system. We've got abstract swirls. Could someone regain their sight if they have an optic nerve damage using detox with fruits and herbs? What herbs would you recommend for the optic nerves? I was just reading about this. This is so coincidental. I'm actually doing an herbal school with Dr. Christopher, and he had a baby brought to him that was born without an optic nerve, and the mother was distraught, of course. And this was when I think was up in Salt Lake City, Utah, and he used some herbs. Eyebright was one of them. I think it's in his eye formula. But the mother reported back in just about 3 or 4 months that the child was seen again. So yeah, it's in I forget the name of the book that I read it in. That's part of the course. But yeah, so you know, I don't know. You know, I mean, maybe there was a little bit of optic nerve there with that boy. I don't know, but. You know, this is the great thing, you guys, is that we talk about detoxification, but at high levels of detoxification, we get regeneration. This is the beauty. We can regenerate any cell in the body. So there's miracles that happen. So I would say, yeah, give it a shot. Learn about this. Yeah, look on Dr. Christopher's sites about his eye formula. You could probably Google this. It's probably a very famous story. Dr. Christopher, you know, restoring eyesight, optic nerve, something like that. That should get you to the information. And yeah, I know Eyebright was one of the formulas in there. But yeah, and Dr. Morse has an eye formula as well. Dr. Morse has taken stuff from Dr. Christopher, so these guys are very much in alignment. So, yeah, yeah, dig into that and let us know, okay? That'd be great. That would be such a great miracle, wouldn't it? Wow. So Stephanie says, dry skin brushing is fantastic. In listening to you speaking on elimination, just remember that I have a medium and a firm brush. Yeah, skin brushing does, you know, some people write into me, it's like, oh gosh, it's so incredibly painful to skin brush. No, you just have to do it lightly. You don't need to really, you know, abrase the skin to get that lymph moving there. It's very light, actually. So great, yeah, it's a great, skin brushing is really wonderful to help stimulate the skin and not only to make it look better, but to also get those subcutaneous layers moving too, to untrap them and to get the gunk and acidic stagnant lymph moving again. You know, the reason why we have these skin problems is because it's acidosis trapped in the skin layers. So, and toxins. So we want that out. And funguses. All right. So Doris says, thank you. Thank you, Doris. We got Julie. Hi, Julie. Welcome. Julie is asking, blessings to Mark. Blessings to you, Julie. Can I take herbs 3 times a day with my 6 to 8 eating or juice fasting window? Usually, yeah, sure, yeah, why not? You know, with the herbs, I mean, really, you know, these herbs are really just vegetables with an attitude. I love that, but you know, you got to watch the lymphatic herbs, of course. Some of those lymph herbs of Dr. Morse's, and I'm sure Gino's too, are really powerful. So you can have adverse reactions if you take too much of those lymphatic herbs for sure, because you're moving stuff too quickly. And but if that happens, you want to stop them and really go after those kidneys and get those really filtering. But I don't see why not. Of course, you got to listen to your own bodies, you guys. So yeah, I don't see why not. What does fluctuating blood pressure mean? 85 to 110, 45 to 65 usually, rarely high, sometimes perfect. So our perfect is 120 over 60, okay? So on that upper number, 85 to 110, those are low adrenals. Those adrenals need work, okay? And 45 to 65, so you know, as you bring up that upper number, you're going to bring up that lower number too a bit. So you might even, you know, it looks like the kidneys are working well, you know, but a little bit low because of your overall low blood pressure. You know, just you're weak neurologically is what it is. So you need more of that adrenal punch. But you may find as you, let's say you're coming up from 90 to 120, that's 30 points. You put 30 points on 60, that's 90 on the kidneys. So Low blood pressure sometimes means high blood pressure in the kidneys. We just have to see what happens when you start perking up those adrenals. But, when you're working on the adrenals, even if you have a good kidney number, always work on the kidneys too, okay? I hope that makes sense. Because they will rise together somewhat. So, so the swinging pressure, this can be the cerebellum in the back of the head here, which means you're lymphatically stagnant in the head, and you can do hot and cold packs on the back of the head and do those upper circulation herbs, and the general detox. Getting the bowels to clean out so the head can drain. The neurolymphatic points to help the head drain. So this could be cerebellum there, okay? But start working on those kidneys, adrenals for sure, okay? But fluctuation can be cerebellum. Okay. I hope that answers your question. I just skipped ahead again. Okay, so here we go. Oh, did we? Okay, so yeah. Okay, so we've got Julio Sanchez. Hi, Mark. Do you think I can finally tackle heart palpitations, doing nothing but fresh grape juice, some dry fasting, and maybe some upper circulation herbs from Dr. Morse? The heart palpitations. Okay, so general detox. Okay, so yeah, you're on a grape juice fast, some dry fasting, upper circulations. You got to do all those herbs. You want to clean lymph all through the body. Okay, because the heart issues. Okay, so when you're acidic in the body, the body becomes inflamed. You can inflame in the heart. You can inflame, all those nerves around there that control these things. You can inflame the parathyroid with the calcium. That's part of heart palpitations. The thyroid, which is a regulator of metabolism. There's all kinds of factors here, Julio. It's not just a specific thing. Dr. Morse does have a heart formula, but you got to generally detox all those glands and all that tissues throughout the body. You got to get on a alkalizing diet. So here's one of the problems. When you're eating a very acidic diet and your kidneys aren't filtering, and you don't know anything about the lymph system, and you're just backing up with acids, you become inflamed. And the adrenals make steroids to help you fight acids, but if they're not strong, then the body goes to the liver and makes cholesterol to help fight acids, and then that cholesterol starts plaquing in the arteries and everywhere in the body, including the brain. So it's a lot of things are happening here because you're acidic. Okay, so it's not just, like I say, it's not just going after the heart with a couple things. It's really overall detox, and then we can throw a heart formula on top of that. But yeah, it's a systemic issue as well as a local issue. Okay, so I hope I tied that together. There are other glands and systems in there that need to be cleaned. And unfortunately, just the grape juice and fasting and a few herbs is just not going to do it. All right, so get on a good, well-rounded herbal program. Those kits are good. The Fab 4s are good. Fab 6, things like that. Okay, Julio, I can help also. So yeah, get on a good detox program and take care of this. We got Kelly Posh. Hi, Kelly. Highway, HWY, I don't know what that is. Maybe it's hay. Okay, what's a good parasitic cleanse? Well, okay, so parasites, you can't just take the formulas. Dr. Morse has great parasite formulas, but you can't just take those and say, hey, I'm done. You got to move the lymph system. What happens a lot of the times is, let's take Candida, for instance. Candida loves to live in the GI tract, and if you've taken a lot of antibiotics, there's a lot of sulfur built up in the body. And the sulfur is a fungal proliferator. The sulfur and the candida go hand in hand. Finds a nice comfy home throughout the GI tract. And if it's been there long enough, it starts to migrate out of the GI tract into the body. So you got to move lymph as well as take the anti-parasite herbs. It's not just about taking those herbs, or it would be really easy. I mean, so many people, my most popular videos deal with candida because people just cannot get rid of it, because they don't understand the lymph system, okay? And you want to get off the fungal foods like the breads, the things with yeast in it, okay? The fermented foods. Okay. All right. So Kelly Amor, good night to you and everyone. Okay. All right. So yeah, we just answered that, Kelly. So thank you, Kelly, for that question. We've got Ana Luisa Lima. Hi, Mark. Have you heard of magnesium oil? Absolutely. You apply to the skin so the skin absorbs the amount it needs. Since magnesium is crucial for dozens of functions of the body, and since my glands are not working 100% to metabolize the magnesium from the oil, would it be wise to apply magnesium oil while detoxing? Magnesium oil is pretty amazing. It can help you really relax the body, I know. But again, it's isolated chemistry. I would rather get your magnesium utilization up, and that's handled mostly by the adrenal glands. So if you're low on magnesium, you got to really work on those adrenals, okay? And it is crucial, but look to have malnutrition in this country is really hard. Most of us take in a lot of minerals and just a lot of nutrition. It's how do we utilize that though? That's the real question. It's utilization, getting the gum and pus and mucus out of these glands so they can actually function properly. With what you're taking in, is really the most important thing. And also, cleaning up that GI tract, getting the inflammation out of the bowel walls, and getting the mucus and pus out of the bowels, so you can transfer a lot of this nutrition to the body. The absorption is really important, as well as the utilization of this holistic natural chemistry, hopefully, that you're bringing in the body in its holistic whole form. We're taking those beautiful grapes in that have, tons of minerals in them, even the ones that aren't grown the best. They've got tons of chemistry in them, all natural, all designed by the creator, whatever you want to call it, the great force, whatever, nature, in its proper balance. So if you're taking too much magnesium, are you offsetting your calcium? So you're going to, one now balances the other. So you're playing with the chemistry of the body when you supplement isolated chemistry. So I'm against it. I'd rather get that utilization up, and I'd rather put in the proper chemistry into the body. Let the food be thy medicine is the guy, Hippocrates, that invented, the whole medical names and all that. So I think that's a good adage. Okay. So good. So Jan Lopez, how do you recommend a lymph cleanse whilst on a 9 to 5? Thanks, Mark. Okay, Jan. So a lymph cleanse on 9 to 5. Well, here's what I tell people just starting out. Get some herbs. Get some herbs from Dr. Morse or my company, Giovanna Detox, and just get on a simple herbal program. And what I tell people starting out or whoever, is give me fruit until noon. Just have nothing but fruit until noon. Okay? Anybody can do that. It might be tough in the beginning, but fruit till noon. Especially summertime now, forget the bacon and eggs and all that garbage, the oatmeals and the cereals and all these things. It just slows you down, and it doesn't give you that much energy. I mean, it actually takes energy from me. I feel it, I'm high fruit. I'm definitely fruit till noon, and if you eat that kind of stuff, it takes you down. Yeah, can you have a bite of toast? Yeah, sure, but I'm telling you, if you have a real breakfast, it's going to take you down. So do fruit till noon, and then a salad, right? Have a nice big salad. If you're 9 to 5ing it, I'm sure the thing you're looking forward to is having a break and getting out and walking out to that local restaurant or whatever, driving out to it. But go to ones that have a salad bar, so at least you get out of the office and all that. Get a nice little walk and some breathing too on the way. So now you've done fruit till noon, and you've done a salad or more fruit if you feel so inclined. And the rest of the day, just try to stay raw as possible. either whole fruit or whole veggies, raw veggies, and you're there. You're there, and then just do your herbs. Have a regime for your herbs. Whatever you're doing 2-3 times a day, and you got it. Okay. You don't need to starve on these things. You really don't. This kind of detox isn't about starving yourself. So you're not feeling depleted. You should actually feel really super energized. Maybe in the first week or so, your adrenals are resetting. So different things can happen. Keep your blood sugar levels up until your adrenals reset. So if you can have at your desk, some grapes in there and just pop those in your mouth. Some chopped up fruit would be great. Sip on some smoothies. Great. Have a NutriBullet. Make yourself a big thing of smoothie before you get to work is another great way. But easy to do. Really super easy to do. Okay. So we got Sei Akinbinu. Sei Akinbinu. Let me get a shout out. All right. Shout out to Sei. All right. Glad to have you. I subscribe, so can I get a shout out? Absolutely. All right. Everybody's shouting right now to you. Okay. We got Linda Gratt. Thank you, Mark. Awesome place to learn. Yeah, great. Yeah. So good to have you here. So glad that you guys are trusting me to teach you. I love it. I really do love it. So it's so easy too. It really truly is. Amanda Frey. Hello from Australia. Hello, Amanda. Welcome. Welcome from Australia. I'm reading a book now about Nat Young, the great surfer from Australia. It's called Nat's Nat and Nat's That. It's really an interesting read, talking about the old days in Byron Bay and Cornula Point and all that. Really cool. All right. Amazing athlete, that guy. All right, so Abstract Swirls, thank you so much for the info on the optic nerve. You bet. It's from my mom. Oh, blessings to your mom. She lost sight in her left eye and would love to see fully again. I will look up Dr. Christopher. You rock. All right. Hey, let us know how your mom's doing, okay? I'm going to say a prayer for your mom if that's okay. This is awesome. Yeah, I'm wishing her full restoration of her eyesight. Wow. Yeah, really inspiring story that Dr. Christopher has shared. Really neat. Guy was a great guy. I mean, they locked him up. They charged him with murder. He was helping a woman out. The family had called him. This was when he was living in Utah. And the family had called him and said, please help my mom. She's dying. She's got cancer. They sent her home to die. She's in incredible pain. And Dr. Christopher, after a long day, just went over to the house and he got her on some herbs and gave her a program to clean everything up. The woman was, I think, within 2 or 3 weeks, was up and walking around her garden and everything. She was very advanced, so she passed, I think, within 4 or 5 months. But the end of her life was a lot more fulfilling and a lot less painful. And but the neighbors reported him, and when she finally passed, they arrested him for murder. And the family of the woman came into the court and stood up for Dr. Christopher, and the judge hit the gavel and said, "Case dismissed." So he was harassed many times, jailed quite a few times, and but he was a relentless teacher and healer. And always kept his joy, and was just really on a mission to help people learn about the herbs and all this. So, Dr. Christopher, you guys, amazing story. He's been dead now for quite a few years, but really amazing guy. And I think Dr. Morse might have known him. So certainly Dr. Jensen was good friends with Dr. Morse. So some of these old guys, these old naturopathic healers, are just so amazing and so dedicated in a time where this was seen as really woo-woo science. So anyway, so just a little side story on that. So Dr. Christopher is amazing. Yeah. So Jamie, thank you. You bet. So Stephanie, Abstract Swirls, can I get Dr. Christopher's info for a friend who is struggling with his sight? Thank you. Can I get Dr. Christopher's info for a friend? Yeah, Steph. Yeah, you guys, if you want, I I think that PDF book is in public domain. I can get you the book if you guys want. Mark at markjamesgordon.com, and I'll check if it's in public domain. I can probably forward that PDF book if anybody's interested in hearing about his stories and all that. And he does list all of his herbal formulas at the end of the book too. But I'll definitely check if it's public domain, and I can get that out to you guys. Okay, so Amethyst Schmoller, thank you so much for your responses. You bet. Love your show. See you next week. See you next week too. All right, awesome. Lucky man. Do you recommend lipase enzymes for patients with high blood pressure, fats not breaking down? No, I don't do any enzymes myself. You know, the high blood pressure, like I say, if the kidneys block up, okay, you know, the pressure goes up, okay? And, you know, that lower number goes up. And basically, you know, so if you're acidic in the body, you're producing all of this extra cholesterol. The body's trying to alkalize itself. This cholesterol starts plaquing. The arteries are getting smaller. The kidneys are getting tighter. They're getting blocked up. Everything's getting tighter. Your blood pressure rises. So the way to do that, in my view, is to get kidney filtration, get sweating like crazy, start moving lymph, and watch those pressures come down. Get off of the proteins. They block the kidneys. Get off of that acid-forming food. It causes acidosis in the body, which causes inflammation, which causes tightness. So that's how I do it, you know. Yeah, not really an enzyme fan myself. You know, don't know much about them. Maybe short-term, maybe good for a hit. I don't really know, to be honest with you. But the real cause of high blood pressure is really lymphatic stagnation, acidosis, especially with the kidneys. Okay, so Kelly Posh, thanks so much, Mark. You bet, Kelly. We got Amanda. Is there a rep in Australia for the supplements? No, I don't think there is, but we ship, and Dr. Morse ships to Australia. Yeah, Giovanna, we ship to Australia and New Zealand all the time and have never had a problem. And we've actually shipped some pretty big orders down there, so we've never had a problem. Go right through customs there. So Weston, hi Mark, when you say you keep your blood sugar up for the adrenals, do you have a blood glucose number in mind? I'm worried about the blood sugar spikes and feeling lightheaded on fruit. I don't monitor mine because I don't really have an issue, you know. So if you do have a blood glucose meter, you know, I don't need one because I know when I'm, you know, when you feel lightheaded and all that, you know, you're dropping. So, but certainly, you know, that's how I do it. So, when you say keep your blood sugar up for the adrenals, yeah, what I mean by that is that the adrenals handle the sugar metabolism. Okay. So as you start doing a lot of fruit, they're not used to it. They're still full of pus and mucus. They're not really turned on yet. So, you know, they may not utilize the sugars that you need, and you may they may dump those extra sugars, and you may get a quick drop and all that. So I just stay ahead of it with you know, some grapes or something. You know your body, so just stay ahead of those drops. You know what it is. You get lightheaded and weak and all that. I don't really need a meter to do that. But, you know, there's resting numbers, you know, of 90 or whatever. People have different minds on that. But it's really all about so you don't have those drops, okay? And incidentally, you don't want to consume, you know, like a big 16-ounce smoothie, you know, real quickly, because that's going to spike you also. And it's going to overwhelm the adrenals, and you just kick a lot of it out. You'll be peeing a lot. You know, when you're peeing a lot of times that's just the body kicking out extra sugars. So, yeah, you know, with the fruits, you know, it's good to just do little bits. Just keep it coming in. Sip those smoothies slowly. Have just little pieces of fruit. Don't gorge yourself on it. Okay? Hope that helps you. We got Amanda. We had Amanda. All right. Yeah, the lightheadedness is really when you drop, isn't it, on those sugar levels? Sounds good. The book. Yeah, the book. We'll get you guys the book by Dr. Christopher. I think it's called something, A Brave Story or something. Hold on, maybe I have it right here. Let me look in my... Let me look in my history here. Hold on one second. Let's see. Let me see in my history. I'll tell you what the name of the book is, and maybe you guys can go get it off of Google. Just do a Google search on it. Let's see. Herbal Legacy of Courage. Herbal Legacy of Courage is what it's called. Okay? All right. Dr. Christopher, Herbal Legacy of Courage. Weston Hine, also, do you ever test your urine saliva with pH strips? Yeah, I've done it. Okay, with the urine, we like it slightly acidic, believe it or not, because we want to know that acids are being pushed out of those kidneys and out of the body. So we like it slightly acidic, which is below 7. So in the high 6s, good stuff. The saliva, we like a little bit alkaline. So in the low 7s, we like, because we want that mouth alkalized, so we don't have acids chewing on our teeth and on our gums and in those tissues in the mouth. Okay, I find I get extremely acidic while dry fasting, 16 hours, and also that puts your body into ketosis. I'm assuming it's acids being kicked up. So when you're dry fasting, you're doing pH strips in the mouth and you're acidic in the mouth. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I know it's dry, but you could do a little swishing with some baking soda, just a tiny bit. Maybe that's a good idea in that regard. Check with Gino over at the Master Fast, okay? Let us know what he says. If you could report back to us, Weston, if you'll be back next week. I'm curious about that. My initial gut is like, yeah, let's do a little bit of baking soda to neutralize that mouth. A little bit of swishing. Maybe you don't even want to take any fluid with it. Maybe take a tiny bit of the baking soda powder and just kind of move it around the mouth and swish it around with whatever saliva you have and kick it out if you're trying to be real pure on no fluids. All right. Sounds like it is acids being kicked up, yeah. But while I seem to be filtering pretty decently, more urine still measures alkaline while saliva is acid. Oh, interesting. So, wow, you're getting alkaline urine as you're supposedly kicking out acids. Wow, it's very interesting. I'll have to think about that one. Really, really kind of neat. You would think you'd get more acidic urine also. We got Lori Beach Sand Angel is back. Hi, Lori. Okay, Jamie and I are going to start a 24-hour dry fast tonight. Wish us luck. Wishing you luck. Awesome. Great job tonight, inspiring us. Great. I'm glad to be your inspiration. You guys inspire me too. This keeps me on my path too. Because when I'm not detoxing, I have a tendency to fall off the wagon. But you guys are keeping me pretty darn humble. I mean, I don't want to show up here looking all bloated and fat and everything. And who is this guy? I've got barbecue sauce on my mouth. Just kidding. I haven't eaten meat in so long, man. I've never succumbed to that cheat, thank God. But can't say that about grains. I haven't had a few of those. So let's see, Jeannie. There are also Dr. Christopher Herbals for sale. Yeah, he's got a big herbal line there. Look into that eye formula. That's the one that got that optic nerve back. So we got today for tomorrow. Hi, Mark. What's the difference in strength and potency, alcohol tinctures versus glycerin? I hear the alcohols are more potent. Does putting alcohol tinctures in simmering water decrease the herb's power? Not to my knowledge. Of course, the beauty of alcohol tinctures is the herbs are still technically raw. So when you do put them in any water that's over 118 degrees, they're not going to be raw anymore, if that means anything to you. So that's negligible there. Maybe, I know water doesn't simmer till about 150 or something. So don't really know the answer to that. What's really interesting about that is with the herbs. This is an interesting analogy. Down in the jungles of South America, they make a brew called ayahuasca, which is a super, super powerful psychedelic. And they pound on these herbs. They hit them for days. They cook them for days. And this stuff is super, super powerful. So does cooking open up things or does it destroy things? Probably both. So it might open certain constituents of the herbs up and close certain ones down. Yeah, I know that a lot of herbalists, including Dr. Morse, says if you do have an alcohol problem, to burn off the alcohol. So they're basically opting for cooking, which maybe doesn't do that much damage. Okay, that'd be my best answer to that. We got PM Mac. I noticed your sales on your teas. What would you recommend for someone just starting out on a budget? I have an arthritic hip, sulfur and cholesterol in the eyes. Thank you for the help you provide. You're welcome. So just starting out on a budget. Okay, so if you want to you could just get the Detoxol tea, Javana Detoxol tea, and you could add in a kidney boost and a lymph boost and the GI boost, okay? And you could add in a balanced glands boost, okay? So that gives you a full spectrum there, all right? If you have a little more money, you could add for the first month, you could add in the anti-parasite and a liver gallbladder. So it depends on your budget. If you have no money at all, just get the tea. At least you're getting those herbs. I designed it where you have all the herbs there, kind of a broad spectrum of herbs for the 4 basic areas of detox. So if you have no money, you could do that. And get on the high fruit and the high raw fruit and veggie and fruits, berries, and melons and a little bit of salad. And then you're off and running. Okay, arthritic hip. Okay, so the arthritic hip is the acidosis. Yeah, not uncommon, in the hips and the knees and all that kind of stuff. The acids chew, and we talked about having an acidic lymph system and needing, the body stealing calcium to actually go ahead and alkalize certain areas. So you're probably robbing calcium from that hip. You probably have a weak parathyroid gland and need to move lymph all through the body. So, yeah, you don't want to lose that hip. If you're not moving lymph in that hip area, throughout the whole body, if the kidneys aren't filtering, you're not moving lymph out. Those acids just keep chewing and chewing and chewing until we're talking hip replacements and bone on bone and all these horrible things. So, alkalize, and general detox is really, really good. You can do the castor oil packs in that hip area to get some lipid action in there to help cool that down. Yeah, I mean, if you want to send me your eyes, I can help you. I see you're on a budget. I can take a look at your eyes and give you a little bit more if you like. Okay. Yeah, I'll take a quick look and see if there's anything else I can see in there. But alkalize. Okay. And I would perk up that parathyroid too. Kelp is really good for that thyroid parathyroid area. And the bone and joint formulas are really good too for that. It's got the horsetail with all that silicon and things like that. So cholesterol in the eye. So cholesterol is telling me that you're acidic, of course, because the more acidic you are, and the less your adrenals are functioning, the more cholesterol you're going to make. So, yeah, we don't like that cholesterol plaquing. So yeah, I would get busy on all that, but I can help you out. So, okay, I'll take a quick look at those eyes and help you out. We have Miss Deshun. Hi, I've been on the GI broom for a few days. What's the recommended time to be on it? I like doing a bag or two of that. Once a year, I think is great for maintenance, just to pull out all that stuff. I like to combine it with the stomach and bowel formulas. I tell people do like, a month or so on the stomach and bowel formulas, then bring the GI broom in and then use those together. But if you can get the GI broom down and it's not causing you a lot of discomfort, then yeah, a bag or two seems to be really good. Rome Alone, Dr. Christopher's book, Herbal Legacy of Courage. Yes, thank you for restating that. Lucky Man says, do you recommend doing colon hydrotherapy on a regular basis? You know, I like colon hydrotherapy. I'm not sure on a regular basis. I know 1 or 2 to kind of get rid of some of those obstructions is really good. We're really going after the bowel walls, inside of the bowel walls, the lymph system actually in the bowel walls. We're trying to alkalize that. But the colonics will get rid of the big, you know, physical matter in there. And possibly some of the plaque will come out too. So yeah, you know, just with the colon hydrotherapy, I think what Dr. Morse says is you don't want to become too dependent on that. And I'm also thinking it might take out too much of the friendly bacteria. Don't really know. Maybe someone can help me on that. But I think 1 or 2 is fine, and we just come in with the herbal and going after the lymphatic system really in there. But good for moving out, you know, the initial obstructions. I think they're good. And certainly I'm a fan of enemas too, to help with that. Especially when you're detoxing heavily and you need to really move out, you know, a lot of the acids that you're moving, you need to keep moving out of the body. And, you know, these enemas can really help you keep up with that. So, yeah, but you don't want to become dependent on them, obviously. All right, so we got Simon. Hi, Mark. I drank a lot of liquid on my last fast. 8 liters of watermelon, sometimes more. Wow, that is a lot. And watermelon's powerful. Notice that the kidneys stopped filtering. Should I limit the liquid somehow for future fasts? You know, a lot of times when you're pushing a lot of liquids through the body, you don't see that filtration. And I use this example over and over again. It's such a good one. You know, when they drill for oil, they, you know, you have those grasshopper things, and they don't just pump day and night. They have to let things rest. It's called seepage, okay? So they let the ground seep the oil back in to where they're draining it from, and then they pump again. So I think that's a lot of it. You may still be filtering a little bit, but you're not seeing it because of all the stuff you're pumping through. But for some reason, you know, I got this question today. Someone had written me. They go, how do you know that dry fasting is helping filtration rather than just giving less liquid so the stuff shows up more, so the sediment shows up more? And my answer to that is that we know that it works because when people dry fast and they start to see sediment more consistently, even when they go back to taking in their regular fluid amounts. So it does turn on the kidneys. Now, in my experience, it does stop after a bit. So you need to kind of kick it again with the dry fast and keep kicking it. Maybe eventually, you know, we get constant filtration. Not really sure on that, but it seems to be that we have to keep kicking it a little bit. Keep goosing those kidneys, if you will, to keep the dry fasting going. So good. So, hey, you know what? I can't believe it. We're only at about 1 hour and 15 minutes, and we've got through your questions. So if you guys have any last-minute questions, I just stay here till everybody's got their answers, and I'd be happy to answer some more. But if not, I am going to call it an early night, and it's always a pleasure hanging with you guys. And you know, maybe this is a sign that you guys are really learning a lot about this, and I don't have to answer all the questions anymore, and you guys can answer other people's questions. So I don't know, but anyways, Lucky Man writes, "Thank you for the responses. Can you recommend some ways to move lymph?" Okay, well, that's a great question. So the ways of moving lymph are getting kidney filtration and using the herbs. There are lymphatic herbs that are very powerful. In fact, some of them, like lymph node 5 and lymphatic 5 and 4, are just so powerful. If your kidneys aren't filtering properly, you're gonna really get hit hard. So we have lymphatic herbs, okay, and we have rebounding. You know, those little mini trampolines are really good at moving lymph. Neurolymphatic massages. I have videos on all this stuff at my website. Okay, those are good. Hot and cold showers are good. Dry skin brushing is good. Deep breathing is good. Brisk walking is good. Lifting those heels high, swinging those arms, breathing deeply as you walk is really good. The yogas are good. You know, the saunas are good for moving out through the skin. Inversions are good. Massages are good. I can probably think of more, but those are big ones there. So yeah, the lymph doesn't have its own pump, so we've got to physically help it out. Isometrics are good, just squeezing and releasing, squeezing. You can do it sitting, so those are good. So we've got a barrage of questions coming in. So here we go. All right. So hope that helps you with that. I've heard the less the liquid, the stronger the fast. I've heard that too, and I believe that. Yeah, I do believe that. Yeah, it's that balance of moving lymph acids out by flushing it out, and yeah, not having so much fluid run through you. So I have heard that. Something that definitely play around with and experience. Blood pressure on Doris is 158/85. So this is high blood pressure, Doris. We like 120/60. So, I worry about that lower number. That's got to come down about 20 to 25 points. So how do you get that pressure down? How do you get that blood pressure down in those kidneys? You got to remove the obstructions. You got to get those kidneys filtering, and you've got to move lymph. You got to alkalize that lymph system, and you got to move those blockages out. Okay, so you got to work on the adrenals too, because you need those antacid steroids. The reason why the body inflames is because it's acidic and the body's protecting itself. Okay, it's making more cholesterol to form a lipid, a mucus. Well, in that case, a lipid barrier. You have a mucus protection in the body, which is an inflammatory response. So the adrenals need to come up for those adrenal steroids, those antacid steroids. You got to take in an alkalizing diet. You got to stay alkaline. You don't want to bring acid-forming chemistry into the body, meat, dairy, and grains especially. Those are the big ones. Okay, so this is high blood pressure. I don't know if you're on medication. If you're on medication and want to come off, you got to work with your doctor on that. If it was me, I'd come off real slowly. But yeah, it's all about removing the inflammation, the obstructions, the alkalizing the body, and getting that plaquing out. Okay, and then that top number is going to come down. So yeah, so go to work. I would not suggest licorice root though, because it's going to raise your blood pressure. That's what check those adrenal formulas and those gland formulas for licorice root. It raises blood pressure. Okay, so yeah, kidneys, and alkalize, move lymph. And yeah, just get on a good program here, okay? Herbs, diet, and physical things, to move that lymph. Okay, learn how to check for filtration. So good luck, Doris. Jeannie's saying good night to Jeannie. All right. We've got Tugsi. We got Tugsi back. Hi, Mark. Are there any herbs that affect specific chakras than another? If so, which one is best for the heart chakra and the sixth chakra or third eye? Okay, this is a great question. The thing is with the chakras, amazingly, they correspond to your glands. This is what's really, really cool. So, and I've talked about this before, the Muladhara those are the sex glands, okay? And then we've got the Svadhisthana, okay? Which... the Svadhisthana is the adrenal glands. Let's see, the Manipura. The Manipura is your that one could be the solar plexus area. I know they say that it corresponds with the pancreas too, and the thymus here. The Anahata is of the heart, and the Vashuddha is the thyroid, parathyroid. The sixth chakra is the third eye, which is very related to the pineal gland. Okay, the pineal gland is in a lot of spiritual circles the spiritual third eye. Okay, and so. Yeah, so the heart, so you're asking the best herbs, okay. As far as spiritually turning on the heart, I'm not really sure about that. I know that for the third eye, for the pineal gland, the chaste tree berry is really, really wonderful. And I know that I know one of the great herbs for the spirit and the heart opening is the reishi mushroom. The reishi mushroom is really, really prized in Chinese herbalism because it's called a three treasure tonic herb, and the three treasures are the jing, the qi, and the shen. So if you take a candle, right, you visualize a candle. The jing energy is the wax of the candle. That's the store of energy that you have that you can pull from. The qi energy is the candle that's burning, the flame. Okay, that's the utilization of that energy. How much of that energy can you utilize? How much qi force do you have? Okay, so the bigger the flame, the more the qi force. Okay, the more that it utilizes that battery store, that store of energy, rather spiritual or physical. And then the shen is the light that comes off of that flame. Okay, and the shen is your spiritual power, your intuition, your wisdom. So that's fantastic. Yeah. So I know that that holy basil is very popular at opening up chakra activation. The holy basil, the tulsi, of course, boy, there's some other ones. You know, as far as the heart, the hawthorn berry is really, really in a lot of heart formulas. The heart really responds to hawthorn berry. Okay. Yeah. So activation of chakras with the herbs. You know, look into Syrian rue. Syrian rue, very, very powerful for that for the alkaloids that affect the third eye. Okay. Okay, so that's off the top of my head. So good. So we got Deb Morrison. What are your thoughts on taking essential oils internally? Wow, never did it. I've never taken them internally. Don't know much about essential oils. Not that I'm not a fan. I do. I have one of those vaporizer type things. I love them. You know, they're really neat, but not really. Yeah, not on taking them internally. Sorry about that, Deb. Amanda Fry, good night. Good night, Amanda. Matt, thanks so much for your time. You are a blessing. Oh, thank you. What is your thoughts on taking bentonite clay internally? Well, you know, I had good luck with it. I did Master Fast System for 44 days, and I did the bentonite clay, psyllium husk, and the activated charcoal together, and it really mops up a lot of toxins that you're kicking out. So I did good. Got to be careful, you know, you don't want to gum up your system. So it's good to be doing it with the high fruit and high juice and with the herbs and all that together as a program. I imagine if you took too much, you know, without these things, it could potentially, you know, gum you up a little bit. So. But I had a good experience while taking it, while juice fasting and doing the herbs. Rome Malone, hey Mark, I've been detoxing. I got what seems like a small cyst on my eyelid. When I close it, could this be from a detox? It has been only here for 4 or 5 days. Yeah, you could be moving some lymphatic acids and then getting a little bit of stickiness there. Yeah, you can specifically go after it. You can put a little bit of castor oil on that to help soften that up. Maybe get it to move a little bit more. You could actually take some lymphatic herbs and make a little bit of what's called a poultice. You know, take a little bit of those herbs and wet them down and put them on there. Careful it doesn't get in the eyes. You know, try something like that. You know, a little topical thing on there. But just see if it clears, you know, keep on your program and see if it clears. Dr. Morse has healing salves, you know, that can help things like that. But maybe just a little bit drop a little castor oil on it. You could put a little pinch of cayenne in that castor oil just to help the circulation and see if you can't move that out. But this stuff is kind of common if you're detoxing. Okay, keep an eye on it, so to speak. But it should clear. All right. Let's see. So Rome Malone, I've never had it before. Speaking of the cyst, I started drinking lemon water and mono fruits like watermelon smoothies, etc. Yeah, that's high power stuff. So I'm not surprised you're moving some stuff. Only way out is through. So you just keep moving. Okay. Stephanie Ross, do you have an opinion on a niacin flush or vitamin B3 flush to get metals out of the fats in the body for a 3-week period? Started in 1950s niacin, the flushing kind, on a day 300 milligrams. You know, I used to do the niacin. I read a great book. I read a great book a long time ago. It's put out by the Scientologists, and they have a really fantastic detox program that does include niacin flushes. Dr. Morse doesn't do it. He doesn't really recommend it, so I don't really stir people in that direction, or the vitamin B3 flush. So he has a chem metal detox formula to get that stuff out. That's the route I would go, just because of the isolated chemistry. You know, not really knowing what that niacin is how it's going to offset other things in the body by being a specific, chemistry. So that would be my thing. I would rather do the chem metal flushes and go more natural. You know, I know he's got the cilantro in there and things like that, and the parsley. Those are really great chelators. And moving the lymph, and with those chelating herbs is really powerful. We've got Arnell Joy. Thanks for donating your time, Mark. You bet. Thank you for being here, Arnell. Appreciate it. Jeannie, oh, good. We stayed going with more questions. Yeah, we're coming into an hour and a half. You guys never let me off earlier than an hour and a half. Come on. I didn't think so. I knew we'd get our second win here. Arnell says the Detox Miracle Source Book is an awesome resource. Yes, it is. So much of the good stuff is in there, you guys. It's a great desktop reference book for sure by Dr. Morse, the Detox Miracle Source Book. Absolutely amazing. I believe you can get it on Amazon, if not at his website. Really, really great resource. Fantastic. So Lucky Man is signing off. Good night, Lucky Man. We'll see you next week. Stephanie, for moving lymph, a rebounder, big time, and enemas. Yeah, rebounders, man, that for some reason going up and then having that negative or zero state and then coming back down and hitting again just kind of jars that lymph. Kind of just shakes it up and helps it. And rebounding is kind of fun, it's easy to do. Got Melissa says thank you, Melissa. We got Sol Merkaba. Where can I purchase the GI broom? You can get it from Dr. Morse's website or from Giovanna Detox. I carry it too. Sheila, Nightmark, awesome chat as always. Yeah, thanks, Sheila. Appreciate it. We'll see you next week. Good having you. So we got Stephanie. Turpentine totally took me out of a fog and opened up fully my pineal gland. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, Tuxi, yeah. Stephanie says the turpentine really got her third eye activated. So there you go. I haven't done mine yet, Stephanie. Sorry, I'm still on the fence here. Drinking my nose liquids that are healing also opened it up further, along with hape, the hape. Yeah, have you guys seen that in the jungle where they take that pipe and they blow it into that person's nose and the person jolts back? Well, that's the hape, and Stephanie has been doing these things. Stephanie, you're such a trooper and you're such a pioneer. So she's been putting things up her nose, to get some things healed, and now she's doing this hape to help open up the ears and sinuses and all that. The hape, I think that you're doing is mostly a fine tobacco, I believe, right? But Stephanie says it's really opening things up, and big fan of the turpentine. And incidentally, when Stephanie was on our show and we interviewed her, I was barraged with emails, and I'm still barraged with emails of people wanting to get into the turpentine group on Facebook, but they're not letting many people in. So I try for you guys, but they're just not letting a lot of people in that I recommend. Maybe they don't know me well enough. I don't know. But Stephanie says, Ki the heart love, this Shen the head. Chi or Ki is the heart love, this Shen the head. The Shen the head, okay. All right. All right. Jing is the endocrine system. Okay, good. Good way of looking at it. So the Jing is the endocrines, the glands, okay? The Qi is the heart, okay? The flame of the heart. There you go. And the Shen is the head, the wisdom, the knowledge, the spiritual insight. I'll go with that. That sounds good. So Stephanie, you are an herb expert? Seriously? Wow. Wow. I don't know. Yeah, I'm getting more schooling in it, so it's good. And yeah, you know, it becomes easier when you've got a focus. You know, when we focus on the lymphatic system, we just, you know, we have Dr. Morse as a great teacher, and now Dr. Christopher in my world, you know. So it's great when we understand, you know, what it takes to just really go after these systems here that help us get that lymph system cleaned up. But thank you. If that was directed towards me, I don't even know. So, see, Tahoe 1, I was going to ask if you tried the terp yet. No, I haven't. Still have my bottle waiting, reading off and on. Yeah, I don't know why I'm so cautious. You know, I'm stubborn sometimes, I guess. So you have been so awesome, Art. This has been so valuable. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Sita. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all your support, you guys. You keep me coming back. You know, even on nights when I'm tired and all that. I just, you know, you guys give me the energy and the punch to come up here and do this. You know, it's not always easy. It really isn't. Sometimes you're tired and you just, you know, had a long day and, oh, do I have to do this? But you guys, you know, I just know that I'm helping people. So, and we keep getting a new tribe and all these new great questions. And people are listening to these too. I mean, you know, we're getting thousands and thousands of views on these. So they're spreading. And, you know, just, you know, on a mission to spread Dr. Morse's teachings. And, you know, anything I can do to help. We got Sol Merkaba, a coma. My grandma had me sniff turpentine as a child teenager. Yeah, this was an old folk medicine, so it's been around a long, long time. Or smell it, correction, yeah. This is nothing new. And, you know, I got to say that Dr. Morse is poo-pooing it. So that's one of the reasons I'm a bit reticent, too. He's talking about the blow. He said in one of the videos I heard the other day, you know, you people doing the turpentine, you got to expect a blowback of some sort. So I don't know what he means by that. But, you know, it's been around a long time. I think it does have a poison label on it, so I don't think he can really ever recommend it because he is a licensed naturopath. So, you know, so that might be part of it. I just don't know. But anyways, I've heard a lot of great feedback about it. But I think that's it, you guys. So I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much, everybody. It's been a pleasure answering your questions the best I can. I'm going to learn more about essential oils and more about reflexology and all this. There's so many great modalities, you guys. But I tell people, I say, you know, people are always asking me about CBD oils and turpentines and all these things. You know, a lot of this stuff is really, really great. And, but nothing that I have found trumps lymphatic detoxification. These things are icings on the cake, okay, to help maybe in specific instances. But there is nothing that I have found that trumps lymphatic detoxification. Kidney filtration, moving lymph, and clearing pus and mucus out of the body and alkalizing the body down to the cellular level is the key to your healing, okay, in my view, in my experience. And it's the greatest modality I have ever come across, and it's all natural. It's in full alignment with Mother Nature, God, whatever you want to call it. That's why I really, really love teaching this, and that's why I really love hearing all your guys' success stories. And so I will be here next week to help you guys again. Have a great week, and we will see you, I guess that's going to be on the 9th. Okay, so thank you so much. And we have Atala Josephina signing off too. Stephanie says, thank you, Steph. We got Rome Malone. Thanks a ton, Mark. Much love to you, Rome, and much love to everybody. So good night, and God bless, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.